Hi, Tanya from Created Health, Nutrition and Fitness. If you're enjoying the information that I am putting out there, please remember to like, give this a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Created Health, so that you can get the latest information that I am giving. So today I thought I would talk about GLP-1. There's a lot of talk around GLP-1 and GLP-1 drugs. A lot of people think of it as something for diabetes and weight loss. We know Hollywood is really singing its praises. So what is GLP-1 and what is it all about? So today I thought we would focus on the pathophysiology and biochemistry of nutrition so that we understand, and digestion, so that we understand what GLP-1 is and how it works and what its job is within the body. So we have hormones known as incretins, and these hormones are released in the gastrointestinal tract. Now there are two principal hormones that are released. They are GIP and GLP-1. Now, GLP-1 is glycogen-like peptide 1. Now, this is produced by L cells, and the L cells make up part of the enteroendocrine system. So it is part of your hormonal system because it is entero meaning gut and endocrine meaning hormone. So this is found, these L cells where it is produced are found in the distal ileum and colon of the large intestines. So it has a lot to do with intestinal health and bowel health. Really important to know that and understand that. The other thing about these hormones, the GIP stands for Glycogen-Dependant Insulinotropic Peptide, and this is produced by K cells. Now, of course, this too is part of that enteroendocrine system, so it has to do with our hormones again and gut health. Remember, everything starts at the gut. Your gut health determines so much of your health and your well-being and how your food is broken down and how your body utilizes everything. So now the K cells, they're actually found in the mucosal layers that line both the small and the large intestines. And then what happens is GIP is released when glucose and fats are consumed in the diet, and GLP-1 is released when carbohydrates and fats are consumed. Now with your GLP-1, it comes in two phases. So your first phase is when it is released within 10 to 15 minutes of ingesting food. And then the phase 2 of the GLP-1 is 30 to 60 minutes after ingesting these foods that contain carbohydrates and fats. So now we need to look at enzymes. So we have an enzyme called DPP-4. So that stands for dipeptyl peptidase 4. And this is an enzyme. Now, actually, let me tell you a fun fact about our human body. We are so wondrously made, and I know I say this all the time. All my clients know I say this all the time. But the more we know about the human body and its functions, the more wondrous it becomes, especially to me. I love it. I love it. And there's so much to know and to learn. And just when you think you've learned it all, there's more to know and more to understand. So, fun fact. We have 75,000 different types of enzymes within the body. Now, out of that 75,000 enzymes that are used in the body that are different types of enzymes, 27 of those are digestive enzymes. And then within those 27 digestive enzymes, we have 4 principal enzymes for digestion. So I'm not sure if you've heard of them, but I just thought because we're going to do a quick pathophysiology and biochemistry of the body, it's important for you to understand what all of these hormones and enzymes are and what their jobs are and how they work in synergy with each other and dovetail in and support, and there's ebbs and there's flows, and the body is alive and moving and dynamic in so many ways, particularly our gut and digestion, and everything supports and works in unison with one another. And this is why it's so important to have a healthy gut and healthy gut microbiome as well. So when we look at the enzymes that are the four principal enzymes for digestion, number one, we have amylase. Now, amylase is produced in the salivary glands within the mouth, and their job is to actually break down carbohydrates, starches, and sugars and break them down into glucose. So that's where digestion actually starts. Well, it starts with our four senses, really, because we eat with our eyes and our sense of smell and our taste and our hearing and all of that. And then once we get past our senses, when we start to digest, then we go into the mouth. So that's the first place that digestion actually starts. So it starts with amylase, which is found in the salivary glands within the mouth. Then from there we go down into the stomach. Now in the stomach we have an enzyme known as protease. Now protease is in the stomach as pepsin. And pepsin's job is to actually break down protein, and it breaks the protein down into manageable portions known as amino acids. A lot of people refer to amino acids as the building blocks of the body. And then the third important enzyme for digestion is lipase. Now, lipase is produced in the pancreas. So the pancreas is very much involved in digestion, and this is why we need to make sure that every organ of the body is functioning optimally so that we can digest food properly. So lipase is then secreted from the pancreas into the small intestine and it breaks down fats into fatty acids and glycerol. Then we have the fourth enzyme, which is DPP-4. Now, this is not just secreted by one organ or one part of the body. DPP-4 is found in lots of different organs in the body for its production. It's found in the kidney, the liver, the pancreas. It's found in the small and the large intestine, the immune cells, the adipose tissue, the lungs. So it's really important for everything. And what this does, DPP-4, its action is to break down and inactivate incretin hormones. So it quickly breaks them down, and the incretin hormones that it likes to break down is the GIP and the GLP-1. And what these do, these manage our blood sugar levels when we are eating. So when we eat, the gastrointestinal tract releases GIP and GLP-1, which regulates our glucose. Now, they have lots of different jobs. So GIP and GLP-1, what they do, they increase the release of insulin from the pancreas to help downregulate blood sugar levels and also to downregulate glycogen within the body. The other thing that GLP-1 does is it slows that emptying of the gastric juices within the stomach, and because it slows that down, it then gives us the feeling of feeling fuller for longer. It reduces glycogen. Now, glycogen down regulates the blood sugar levels within the body. So when we eat, we get those spikes, and it helps to down regulate those spikes of glycogen within the blood. GLP-1 is also responsible for enhancing insulin sensitivity, which then supports the fat burning. The other thing that GLP-1 does is it acts as a appetite suppressant. Now this can be a good thing and a bad thing in regards to appetite suppressants, but what it does, it gives that satiety, that feeling of satisfaction when we eat. Now there are predominantly 4 hormones or 4 enzymes responsible for that, and GLP-1 is just one of those hormones. I feel like I always run out of time to tell you this, so I'm going to do a part 2 just to dive into this a little bit more so that you understand it. So please look out for part 2.